Oh, good evening, everybody. We are on number 4.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't count one. If it gets over like 10, we're going to be screwed. We're going to start counting toes, and some of us might not have our toes. But anyway, so welcome. Glad you've stayed with us for the ride. And today's going to be a little different. We're going to dial back. We realized we were escalating in kind of some of the seriousness. And so we're going to dial it back, and probably this podcast might actually be one of the shorter ones, but it'll be short and quick and to the point. So
yeah, just say a little couple topics and have, get some information out there.
Yeah.
Give people something to think about.
Yeah. So today we're actually going to be talking pretty much about pre-workouts. We're not going to dive too much into the weeds of like, this chemical does this, and then if you move this molecule over here for this, I'm not like that. Between the both of us, for a while now, we have both tried and used a lot of pre-workouts, a lot of different ones that have been on the market, come off the market, been reformulated, or whatnot. And what I also we kind of both came to realize after talking over the weekend was there's a lot of just information that's either not out there or just the common person just doesn't think about when they go into a store and they think like, oh, I need a pre-workout or I need some go-go juice, and then they just leave it up to the salesman to pitch what they do to make their margin. Or if you have an honest salesman, to be honest, but that's kind of like an oxymoron to have an honest salesman, but there are good dudes out there.
To show how really raw this our podcast is.
Yeah.
Is that red light supposed to be on for mute? Are we muted right now?
No, because
okay.
it's picking up our audio right there.
Just wanted to verify.
No, I think if I do this. Hello. Oh. Oh wait. See if
still learning our equipment.
If it's blinking, that actually means we're muted. Okay.
So, anyways, back to the salesman thing. Really good example on that. And I'm not knocking anybody with this, but the wife and I went into. So I'm just gonna call it supplement store. I'm not gonna throw out any names, but she wanted to get something a little different. I like what I'm on. I didn't need to change it up, but she wanted something a little different. And when we went in there and she was explaining to them like what things she likes and what she doesn't like, I felt like they didn't even listen to her.
Well, what was she saying she needed?
She's something with just a little bit of a pick me up, but not a whole lot of caffeine.
Just something to like mentally, just you get a little jump and then you're just in it.
A little bit of motivation kind of thing.
Like a little milestone.
They gave her something that she does like, and that's this First Form Project 1, and she says she likes it. It's a pretty good flavor, strawberry pineapple. I like it.
That sounds like a bomb.
It's a bomb flavor. I didn't get nothing out of it when I had it, and I was taking double the serving size as hers. But to get back where I was about, like kind of pushing something on us, was we were getting told, oh, you should try this stuff. Here, let me get you a sample pack, which was nice. But my wife and I are both like, I don't think I'm going to touch a sample pack. Because when they hand it to us, they're like, yeah, when you take that, be ready to take a hell of a ride. And it's like, I don't want to take a ride when I'm working out.
Yeah.
Because, some things I take and can ruin my workout. Because it makes you feel sick.
Yeah.
Which, for example, the 7th Gear, only the Pineapple Express flavor. And I don't know why, which is mango pineapple.
Yeah.
It's a decent flavor. It's a little different. It's definitely a different flavor. But if I do a full scoop of that, and I don't get jittery from it, but if I do a full scoop, it messes with my belly. Yeah.
So I think this would be a good way to break into for the listeners of there are categories of pre-workout. If you already know about pre-workout, maybe you'll just tune us out and you can just go about your busy work and just keep us on in the background. Just press like, subscribe, and share, and maybe someone could benefit from this. But pre-workouts, very simply to me and to many other people, kind of break down into 3 categories. There's a low or a no stem pre-workout, which you see in pump products that are only, again, you get some energy, but it's mostly just for blood flow and oxidation. Or there's a mild stimulation, like it's very mild in caffeine, or it's got more beta in it, where you'll get some of the jittery, itchy, but the energy is there. So that's like the low no stim. Then you'll jump up into like the mid or mild stim pre-workout. So low, mid, and mid is pretty much where I think probably
most
a majority of market pre-workouts sit. Like case in point, someone loaned me this bottle of it, the container of Attack, Star Punch flavor. So of course I think Attack is known for like their off candy flavors, like without getting into copyright stuff, which is funny. To be honest, I've tried this a couple times, and as far as pre-workouts go, I mean, it does its job. You get the energy, the bump, you get going, and it kind of just does its job. And I would say, like I said, like 80% of market pre-workouts probably fall within that. There's nothing super fancy about them. You just find what you like, what works for you, and you move on. The next category, of course, is high stim pre-workouts, or those that are like ultra concentrated. So like Kevin brought up, you've got Axe and Sledge's 7th Gear. For the people on YouTube, you can see the container. This was a limited edition flavor. It's probably not coming back, but it's Pineapple Express, done for good old Bobby himself. If you listen to their podcast, you know why. Yeah, so that was a limited one. The one that I've tried before is their HWMF flavor, which is more like a rocket pop, and then their watermelon lemonade, which I thought was fire. It's super basic. From another company I've tried, you're thinking First Form's Megawatt V2, very concentrated, very high stim.
Decent flavors on those.
Decent flavor.
If you like the high stim.
I'll jump back into the Megawatt here in a bit. Jack 3D, for those of you out there that have been in the lifting world for a while, and you tried the original Jack 3D, you know that stuff was like off the chain stimulated. Like that was a wild time if you're on Jack 3D. I'm trying to think of another one that I've done before that was like super, super high up there.
I don't remember what the name of the one I did, but we were discussing it the other day. The same people that did the Synthesix protein, they made this high stem.
What was it
This
called?
was over 10. This is 12 years ago, probably.
BSN made. Yeah, I remember trying it. It had a really solid fruit punch flavor.
Really good flavor, but oh my! I thought my heart was gonna blow up.
There was that, and at least when I tried it back in 2010, 2012.
That's about the time.
My mood changed. I had to stop. I had to give it out. I had to give it away. Like I loved it, but like I realized like I was like hyper aggressive the rest of my day. Like after it was done, so I was like, I don't know if they're putting like the red velvet like freaking shavings from whatever in there, but I was just hyper aggressive at a time where I did not need to be.
Yeah, that stuff was potent.
Very. But yeah, so if you're going, if you here's another thing. Don't think you need a pre-workout just to have one. Like, I use pre-workout, like I have certain go-go juices around, like I like to call them, but I don't use them every day.
No.
Like, for me as well, like if I've eaten within a certain time frame, like my hour to an hour and a half before a session, I have all the energy I need. And unless I've had a really long day and it's not too late in the day, like now, like, let's say it's like 6:45 right now on Monday. Yeah, I did not take pre-workout today. I didn't. I used a pump. I used a low stim, and I'll jump into it here in a bit. But yeah, if it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm trying to know that I need to go to bed by like 8, 9 o'clock, like I don't need a bunch of high stim stuff in my system. Even this Attack stuff, like it's not crazy, but at the same time, it's I don't want to run the risk of messing up my sleep either. Because, you do all the work in the gym, but all your recovery and your real gains, or all your real gains happen in your recovery. So don't think you're going to a gym for these 2-hour sessions and you've got to buy the highest stim on the market, and then you get there and you take it your first day and you've thrown up within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So going back to the high stim stuff, so what I'm going to do, we've kind of talked our way up to it. Now that we're at the high stim, I think we should sit there and then back plan ourselves and kind of work ourselves back down. So talking about high stim, so Jack 3D was amazing, but it was taken off the market. I think somebody tried to bring it back, but the formula is definitely different. The other one that I've tried is the Megawatt V2 from First Form. A lot of people love it. I'll be honest, like it had a really good flavor, but it was so high stem for me that even half scooping it, like I eventually like, because I've got a pretty good like average caffeine tolerance, but whatever is formulated with, at least with me, like even the half scoop, like my stomach was turning within 10 minutes, and I was normally like throwing it up. That's nothing against, like, because First Form is a very good company on the market. They make really good things. I'm saying this not...
Certain products act different with certain people.
Yes. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting into. It's like, guys, you need to realize, like, just because it's the coolest, newest, greatest, coolest, whatever thing that someone thinks it is, cool, it works for them, might not work for you. A lot of people I know like Megawatt. I can't do it. That and the Blue Raz flavor, while it was good, I took way too much of the original, like, C4 back in the day of nothing but Blue Raz. And so any Blue Raz flavoring today, like, I can't do. Like, it's almost like a bad memory of, like, oh, this ain't happening.
That's like another high stem that messed with my stomach was Anabolic Warfare.
Oh, yeah, what's their...
If I did small, like, little bitty scoops, I kind of liked it. But if I did their suggested serving size, it just tore my stomach up. I felt crappy. I almost got to a point where not like I was gonna throw up, but I just felt beat when I hadn't even barely done a workout.
Yeah.
It's
oh, was it Stim Lord or Pump and Grow? It's pretty much their big ones.
I just remember it being called Anabolic Warfare, and it wasn't that.
No. I remember, I tried a sample
this one.
Pump and Grow.
Yeah.
So
it messed with me.
Really?
Yeah. But again, like I know I'm not a big high stem kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's why usually I only take like a half scoop of 7th gear, and the only time I take that is squat, leg day, or maybe back day.
Are you doing deadlifts on back day?
Yeah.
That's how
so it's like, if I'm squatting or deadlift, I'm probably going to take a little bit of a stem workout. Otherwise, I don't even take any kind of stem workouts.
Yeah.
I stick with my hydraulic, and I rather have hydraulic and not worry about anything else.
Yeah. I forget where, before I get to 7th gear, I forget where Hyde, remember Hyde? Or Mr. Hyde or Jekyll. I can't remember which one. It was made by the same company.
Insane Veins.
Insane Veins, yeah. Hyde. I think Hyde was... I think that was their stem. Everybody out there on the webs, you can correct me. I only used it for like a cycle, or pretty much just one tub. I didn't redo it. It was good, but yeah, if I took that, I was cruising, for sure.
I actually kind of like some of their stuff. I can't remember what one I took, but... maybe it was the Insane Veins. But it was that, which was more of a pump anyways.
Yeah.
I kind of like their stuff.
Yeah.
But...
And again, this is just to further illustrate, guys, again, like, there's so much out there, and you just got to find what works for you. And with a place like, I'll give them a boost, Supplement Superstore here in Jeff City, what I have appreciated is sometimes, not with every product, but sometimes if they have it on hand in the back and it's open, like, they'll give you a sample. And I've only ever come across, I want to say 3 stores, and they're different named, but 3 stores that would give you samples willingly, and that's always good. So if you find a place that'll give you samples, because the best thing you can do is make the investment if you are going to take some to know what's going to work for you. And again, because I've stayed so clear away from high stimulated pre-workouts, it took me a while to come around to Axe and Sledge's 7th gear, which is their highest stem thing that they have. But what blew my mind when I took it, and originally I didn't know how my belly was going to react. So the first time I took it, I did a half scoop, and I felt okay, but I felt like I had just taken like a normal pre-workout like any other. And so the next time I did it, and I got through my workout, but I was just kind of like, meh, by the end. Second time I took it, I took a full scoop, and I was blown away by Axe and Sledge's 7th gear. Seventh Gear, while it's a high stem, it's formulated just differently. Like you're not gonna get the itchy face. You're not gonna feel like cracked out of your mind, because the way it's built is to be, one, to get you through a very long workout.
Yeah.
Whether that's
like a good 2-hour workout.
yeah, like a good hour and a half, 2 hour workout, and no crash. At least for me. And again, everything we say right now with these products is how they have affected us personally. So with Seventh Gear, like, once it hits, and it's not like you're cracked out, it like once it hits, it's like, yo, it's go time. Like we gotta get moving.
Yeah,
and
it's a good kick in too. It's not like oh my god, I can feel it. It's okay, let's do this. I'm ready now. All right, cool.
And just to tag into a pre-workout I've used before, that's actually on the opposite end of the spectrum as a high stem. It was 5% Nutrition's Kill It.
Oh yeah.
Kill It is a low no stem. But honestly, for me, like when I felt it within about 5 to 10 minutes of taking it, and it was the same initial kick I got from this. It was like, yo, I feel good. Like, let's go. And the cool thing about jumping back to Seventh Gear is once it hits, it's like, hey, it's go time, and then you feel just dialed for an hour and a half to 2 hours, no crash, and once it's done, it's just like you just carry on with your day.
My uncle, he really likes taking that stuff.
Yeah.
Which you turned him on to that.
Which
the one that was at the Super Bowl party.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely a fan of that, and the
hydraulic.
All Day You May.
All Day You May, yeah. I will say, like, I'll give a company a boost when I know their products are fantastic, and we'll eventually go into that. But their All Day You May, 5% Nutrition's All Day You May is more of a BCA kind of recovery, but yeah, it's fire. Axe and Sledges is really freaking good too. I've got theirs at home. But yeah, and the other thing about Seventh Gear is you just feel like, boom, the energy, it hits, you're good to go, it lasts you the whole time, and just mentally I'm still there. Like, I haven't like detached myself in like out of body experience like some other high stems. Like you're in it to win it. And yeah, and again, it wasn't ever one that I took every day, like big leg days, or if I had kind of like my big cross training, like more CrossFit style workout days that were going to last me about 2 hours, more of my competition training stuff. Yeah, I was taking a full scoop of Seventh Gear and we were going. But it lasted me and it was great. And I never felt fatigue, never blew up, never got cramps. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I've tried a lot of them. There's probably some more that I'm even missing. But yeah, Seventh Gear has my vote. And again, it's not just because I boost for Axe and Sledge. Like I just told you, like 5% Nutrition. I don't get anything from them, but I like their Kill It as a basic, like low no stem pre-workout. And their All Day You May is amazing.
Their Full as F is pretty good too for a pump.
For a pump, yeah.
For a good pump. I was taking that and I really enjoyed it until I had hydraulic and I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah,
just stand by until we get to hydraulic. Then into the middle category with just kind of normal pre-workouts, you've got, and this is where we can really jump into some like market controversy too, just a little bit. But yeah, you got stuff like Attack, C4. I just reordered my my Axe and Sledge ignition switch. That's their pretty much their standard pre-workout. Again, I've taken it and like their flavors are good. Like don't get me like Shark Bite.
Shark Bite's really good.
For me, don't take this weird, but like I'm more of a fruity flavored. I'm more of just a fruity guy. Yeah. Like flavor wise with sweetness. Profiles, like if I drink something, I'd rather it be like a mango, a punch, not a blue raz. Grape. Who made this? It was Anabolic Warfare as well. Maniac. I think it was called Maniac, which is weird because it wasn't a high stem like the name would betray. I really hope I'm getting this right.
I think you're right. Yeah, I do remember.
And originally I think they did another flavor, but when they first came out, it was grape and apple, and I was not doing apple, and I hadn't done a whole lot of grape, other than BCAs. But their Maniac was, I'd say like decently stimulated, but it was more mental. Like it had a lot of citrulline in it, and if I remember right, L-citrulline is a very big mental component. It also clumps your pre-workout faster, so keep it in a dry, cool place for real if it has citrulline. No. But yeah, Maniac was really good. That was a solid one from a company that I kind of took a risk on without having a sample packet from. That one was good. But so yeah, let's see here. So C4, I'm gonna attack this one as well as BPI's 1MR. Now, again, these companies still have other great products but over time, either they think they want to better the formula or they change certain things or like whatever. So back when I first, like 7 years ago, when I was going through training and everything and I had more freedom finally when I got to engineer school to lift, I was taking BPI's 1MR. The base had it. I had a buddy that recommended it because that's pretty much the only way I take products is if somebody recommends it. But BPI's 1MR used to come in a white container. Now their whole colors are like blue, black, and white or something. But 1MR means one more rep. Their original formula back in 2014, whatever that was going for, that was an amazing pre-workout. Like I would think that rivaled where C4 was at the time, right in that era. Like they were all putting out some pretty killer products. And then I stepped away from it. I tried some other stuff for a while, and then I came back to it because I was like, I think I saw it at Walmart. I was like, no way! Like Walmart's carrying like BPI. One, that should have been my first like red light of like, hey bud, might have been a sellout. Again, not hating on the company. It's like, oh hey, there's my pre-workout I loved. Went to buy it. I was like, man, this is way cheaper than even I got it on base for. I used it twice, and I was like, this is not the 1MR I know. There's no way this is the same. I even went with the same flavor. Nope, wasn't the same. Same with C4. When C4 first came out, and again, it's why I hate the Blue Raz flavor because I loved it from C4, but I definitely overdid it. I think the original C4 was like awesome, and then they just kept getting weird with it. Like now they have like what's this the Sport. They did like a ripped one where it's like, oh, this will help you like fat burn or whatever. I'm like, hey guys, if you want to burn fat and have six pack,
do cardio.
Do cardio and eat right food. Don't rely on a pill or a supplement. Like I get so sick of the whole like the people looking for the magic pill or like the certain pill setup or the detox or the cleanse. I'm like, how about you just eat the right food and your body will do it for you?
What's that saying? Abs start in the kitchen.
Abs are only made in the kitchen.
Six
pack is only made in the kitchen or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, it's guys. It's a phrase that's been around forever. The supplement is just that within its name. It's to supplement what you should already be doing, you know. And so I don't know. Just that's a topic for another time. Don't get me riled up on that one right now. But yeah. So between 1MR and C4, they definitely have tried to like shift and change things throughout the time, and I've tried to come back to C4. It's just not the same. It doesn't hit me the same, and maybe my body's just different. Maybe I've adapted, and I have to be honest with that. But you know, like again, if you can get a sample of something, or if a buddy can give you a hit, great. You know, find what works for you. Is there anything else you want to say about kind of like the middle ground, kind of pre-workout stuff?
No, the only really middle ground that because I was always pushed for the high stem, and I didn't want high stem, and I knew I didn't like high stem, so I would stick down with the very low stem stuff, and you know, like I can't remember what it was from first form that I was taking back when I first started getting back into it, but it was pretty decent. But it had a lot of beta alanine in it, so I had a lot, had a lot of itchiness, and I don't like that too much. So I've gotten to the point where, hell, for last year and a half, if I take a pre-workout and I'm not doing, basically, if I'm not doing legs, I'm taking pre-workout. It's just a pump.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember any of like. Because what you also need to remember too, and there are some podcasts or people out there in the interwebs that will be honest about this, but I'll just say Company X. I'm not even going to put a name out there because I don't know what's happened between them, and I'm not going to catch that heat because I don't know. I'm too ignorant. But say Company X comes out with Pre-Workout A. We're just going to call it A. They come out on the market, and they kill it. They put these great these chemicals and formulas in it, and it does this great thing. Well, all of a sudden they're like, well, wait a minute, we can make a margin better if we just reformulate some things, and some of these ingredients, if we just choose to take this, ingredient here or these certain ingredients, and we just downgrade their quality. Because this was something I didn't know about at all. This was something like I had no concept of this. And of course, I'm not in the pharmaceutical or supplement world. I'm not trying to make my own, and I never will. It's just not my thing. That's why I'm with a company that cares about quality. Is every ingredient or most ingredients within these products, in any of them. I'm not, I'm waving all of them around. They have different gradients of quality. And so say company A comes out with this, and they really tried to do it wasn't perfect, but they pushed their margin. They now they want to increase their margin. So what they're going to do is essentially that next batch, that some of their chemicals are going to be downgraded in quality. They're still going to be the same, but the quality or how clean they are is not going to be as pure.
Because they can get it for cheaper.
Yeah, because they can do it for
still
cheaper.
Sell their product for the same price.
Same price, cheaper made product, same price, bigger margin, basic business. Not ethical business, just basic formula. Well, what happens? Oh, people are like, oh, it must have been a bit, somebody goes back to try to buy the same thing, and it just doesn't do the same for them. Literally like next bottle, next tub after the other one. Or maybe it's 8 months down the line. Maybe it's a year down the line, and all of a sudden you're seeing a lot more of these reviews come up, or people talk around the community or the supplement stores of like, hey, like this is different. Like the flavor profile's different. I'm not feeling the same with it, and people are going to be like, oh, it was just a bad batch, or they're trying to like reformulate something, or your body's just adapted. No, dude, like 9 times out of 10, most likely they downgraded their quality, straight out. And where I start getting fishy about things, where my personal spidey sense goes, is like where you see a company try to take the base product and try to add more. Like it's not like their base one wasn't doing enough, and so they're trying to add more, or they're trying to diversify. Like C4, we just checked their website. There's
the original.
There's
C4.
original. There's Ripped. There's Ripped Sport. There's Sport.
I think there's Extreme.
Extreme. There's Ultimate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, wait a minute.
And it's
dude.
all the same.
Yeah, but it's
supposedly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that is where I'm like, dude, like, well, what's the big difference between the Extreme and the? And again, I could have checked the website and really looked at the labels, but like, when is it enough, and what are you doing to not make your base product like the best base product you can? Now again, there are still people that buy C4. Great. It's just not for me anymore. It doesn't do the trick.
If you like it, that's good.
Like
good job.
I have, however, I will say I've tried their pre-workout in a can. That hit me. Like I was actually like, wow, all right, let's go. Bang, even though they've been debunked in lawsuit and whatnot. I will say their little energy shots that I found on base this last go around that I was there for a while, those hit like a punch in the face too.
I like getting a Bang every once in a while too. They're pretty good stuff,
Yeah, Bang flavoring I think is fine. I think Rain has definitely taken the reins.
I do like Rain,
and they will hit. And like, if I don't really want to like use my own pre-workout, I'll like sip a Rain throughout a workout. I will never shotgun. I am not 16 anymore and dumb. I do not shotgun freaking energy drinks. Sorry. No. Even on road trips, I'm just sipping that thing. I don't need to destroy my gut. But to get down to the bottom of... Oh, man, we're tracking so good. Just to get to the bottom of it, of like low and no stem pre-workouts. So good examples are, I think what you were saying, is this first form, this Project 1. Looking at it too, the caffeine's there for sure, but they've got other things in there, like they got a buttload of citrulline, some whatever instant BCA is, just call it BCAs. I don't know, but again, somebody probably knows more about that than I do. Again, I don't get into the weeds of the chemicals because I'm going to find what works for me, and then I'm going to tell people about it, how much I love it. But anyway, so yeah, this is like a basic one. Low, no stem, just kind of get you going. 5%'s Kill It. That one I can't talk enough about. That one's great. Just as the energy hits, you get a little bit of a pump. There is some stuff in there for a mild pump, but it's not like they're full as F1.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're full.
That is straight pump.
Straight pump. So
and pump meaning, in case you don't know, like there's no caffeine in it. All it really does is it increases that blood flow, and you will actually feel and see a difference in your muscles, especially the ones you're working. Like if I take a pump and I double scoop it on chest day, I actually get to the point where I have to take my shirt off because it's getting too tight up there around my boobies.
I purposely wear a larger shirt on chest days. Like today, I wore my double XL, and I was like, man, I was kind of flat chested before this pre-workout. Right now, I'm definitely like popping double D's right now. But yeah, so there are a lot of good pre-workouts out there. I would say honestly, and this is not, maybe it might sound biased, but ladies and gentlemen, especially if you're on the YouTube, it's Axe and Sledge's hydraulic.
Yeah.
Like
5% full as F is a really good product.
It's a close runner-up.
I really enjoyed it
for sure.
But the hydraulic, it feels better, and I like most of the flavors better. And I say most because
they're wild.
They got one flavor that I really, really don't like.
What's that?
Scorpion.
Scorpion. Yeah. So okay, guys, if you haven't looked at or visited their website on Axe and Sledge, they push the envelope with flavors. They really want to bring like a great experience and a very unique flavor profile. Like this one. This one's Shark Bite. It's their orange mango flavored. Again, I'm just more of a fruit, tropical flavored guy. And so hydraulic Shark Bite is like my go-to.
And it's very easy to drink too.
So easy. It mixes so well.
Because sometimes you'll drink some pre-workouts and you almost kind of feel it sitting in your stomach. And most of Axe and Sledge's stuff, you don't feel that from them at all.
They've taken the time, and what's crazy is for a new company, they have like exploded very fast. But the thing is, especially if you listen to their podcast, like they took a lot of time trying to set it up all correctly. A lot like First Form did. There for a while, like nobody except if you were in the Midwest knew about First Form. And now First Form is like, they are everywhere. Like they exploded because they did the right things. They made the products they wanted to, the way they did, and now they're out there. And Axe and Sledge is essentially doing their own brand of it too. Every one of Axe and Sledge's products has patented ingredients in them. Things that are set in stone, already checked off the list as far as cleanliness. Like their farm-fed protein has a digestive enzyme in it already. Like you'll never take any of their stuff and feel like it's sitting in your gut. It's all about consumption, absorption, elimination. Like how your body goes through that entire process and how quickly you can get that nutrients to your bloodstream and into your body and your muscles. But yeah, so hydraulic, just like he was saying, it's a pure blood flow, nutrient flow, and growth. I take this on chest, shoulders, and arms day, like those, not on back and not on legs. Quick funny story. A buddy of mine who's a firefighter, Driscoll, you're crazy because I told you not to. I hooked him onto this hydraulic, and unfortunately it was right before quarantine. Like he got it and then quarantine hit, and even as a firefighter, he was like quarantined at home sometimes. He took this on a leg day. I told him not to. I was like, dude, don't do it. He's like, nah, dude, I love the pump. I had another buddy do this too. And I was like, don't do it. Sure enough, within like 20 minutes, they're like, they can't walk. Like, they've tried to push it so hard that, like, they can't move. You know, it's a pump for a reason. You'll get an insane pump just from one scoop of this. I like to 2-scoop it.
I like
in fact, like I said, I did chest it today, and I looked in it when I actually just reordered this. But I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, I've got like 3 days worth.
Yeah, you got like one worth.
I got like 1 day worth after today. I was like, gosh dang it, I'm going to have to make it last. Just like start snorting it or something. That and don't dry scoop pumps. Stupid.
Don't dry scoop, period.
I know. Well, some people like to do the whole like concentrated pre-workouts. You know, that's whatever.
Well,
But
a good way
like
to
a
look.
pump, you got to get it into the blood, right? Because it's a pump. So it needs to be. You need the water
to dilute it.
To dilute it.
Not
do its
dilute
job.
it, but to break it down.
Break it down, whatever. It's just like, guys, stop being gym meatheads. Like,
and another way to look at it too, though, with dry scooping is you're supposed to be most people are supposed to drink a gallon and a half a day.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That 8 ounces, if you use the full 8 ounces, that's 8 more ounces of water to get the product you're trying to get in you anyways that you didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't normally, even if, so ignition switch and hydraulic, those two are a very good combo to get in the same flavor and mix together. But even then, I still won't mix those two together. I'll still drink them separately just so I can get that much more water intake.
Yeah, it's too bad my ignition.
Just something to think about.
My ignition isn't here yet. Yeah, ignition switch and hydraulic from Action Sledge, they are designed
to be married.
If you want to be married together. Like a 1-in-1, or like I used to do 1 scoop of ignition and a scoop and a half of hydraulic. Those are some mad days. That was great. It's when I was coming back from training and I had dropped to like 190 pounds, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on the gain train now. I was blowing up. But yeah, no. So guys, again, we're gonna wrap it up here, but this is just something to be aware. Is not all pre-workouts are the same. Low, mid, high stem stuff. Find what works for you. Try to understand where your tolerance is at. And again, as we've illustrated, not all high stems are the same, and not all low no stems are the same. Again, I keep several on hand just depending on my day and what's going. Again, I'll usually have some 7th gear lying around, ignition whenever I'm feeling it, and for sure I will always have hydraulic on hand. That is never a question to me anymore. Hydraulic is literally the best pump pre-workout I've ever, and I've shared it with people that have taken other bigger companies' stuff, and that their minds have been blown by how much pump they get off of it. So anyway, you got any? I've got nothing else I could probably share. I can't think of anything.
Just to reiterate, like when you go into a supplement store, wanting to look for a pre-workout, don't feel pressured to buy what the salesman's trying to show you. Ask plenty of questions. And if you're a person that don't like to take or don't drink a whole lot of caffeine, let the salesman know, and hopefully that salesman will be a good salesman and take that into consideration. But if you can, try to get some samples before you go and spend $50-$60 on a freaking container, and then you find out 2 uses you don't like it.
Yeah, and just like if you're not a big caffeine person to begin with, but you just need a little more like oomph. Like you're probably looking for something with a little more like mental of a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of low no stem pre-workouts out there that will achieve that. Like I said, Maniac, I think if I'm remembering it right, that's one that comes to mind. Or Kill It, 5%'s Kill It. Those are two that if I have them on hand, I do like for a day where maybe I'm not feeling like I want to kill my session, but I still want to get to it, and I just need a little I just need to get into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to pony up. And
S2 has a really good, more of a focused style pre-workout. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the name. Concept or something like that.
I think it's Concept 2 or
it's
something.
In a black and orange container, but I really enjoyed taking that, and it's just a focused thing. So, like we said, the main topic of this is get a little information out. Yeah. And also to mostly figure out what works for you. Yeah. Don't feel pressured into taking what's popular or what the salesman's pushing.
And if you're looking for those 5% products or the Action Sledge ones on the counter, ready to go, I know for sure that here in town, Capital City, Capital Fitness. Sorry, Luke, I just blanked. Capital Fitness off Eastland. He carries them and he sells them for an extremely fair price. Just tell him I sent you, or hit him up through the DMs. I think he ships too. But yeah, if you want to order Action Sledge, you can use my code MBlake10, all caps with the MBlake.
And S2 selling Action Sledge now also.
Yeah, but there's
if you go there to find it. But they're a little bit. It's a little more expensive there for sure.
stored. Their storefront.
Yeah, they've got to do what they get. Their thing. So.
But yeah, and like I said, if you order Axe and Sledge, use my code. Once you get the whole like item has shipped, to be honest, like I'm out here in the Midwest, they're on the East Coast, I get it to my door in 2 days. Like
even with how slow
even with
the
everything
mail
going
is,
on right now, like I always get
they
it
still
within 2
get their
days.
stuff out.
Blows my freaking
once it ships. Sometimes during their big releases, it might take a little bit to get it to ship because they get hit so hard.
They get like 6,000 orders in one day, and 6,000 overnight.
But damn, I was just before we go, I do want to say again, like we said last week, feel free to leave comments or reach out to us. I realized afterwards, I said my Instagram handle was Kevin Glenn. I was almost there. It's Kevin Glenn 89 at Kevin Glenn 89. If you
not 69.
Maybe I should change now.
Talk to your wife first.
And so if you want to reach out there for questions or ideas or anything, that's great. Hit the review or comments and let us know how we're doing, or if we're something you don't like or want to see or anything like that.
Yeah. Remember, this is a fitness and a military channel, so there are topics that will be covered that are relatable to military and fitness and mindset. Yeah. So, it is what it is.
You might come across something where you're just listening to it for the military side, and we hit a fitness side and you don't want to listen to it.
Skip it.
That's fine, because if then check with us the next week, because we're probably going to try to at least alternate it.
Yeah. I don't like listening to myself either, so after I upload these, I don't even listen to them.
No, I just make sure the audio sounds good.
I just make sure the audio doesn't sound like complete crap, which it still does, because I'm an idiot. But anyway, y'all have a good evening. When you guys get this, it'll be Wednesday morning. So hit hump day hard, hit legs, or whatever, or just love your wife or partner.
Agreed. Take care.
Take care.